भूपाल चूड़ामणि आत्माभिरामं प्रभु साहि रामं श्रीरामचरणं भजे श्रीरामचरणं भजे सत्य साई रामचरणं भजे सत्य साई रामचरणं भजे
Take it.
नंदीश्वरा हे नटराजा नंदीश्वरा हे नटराजा नंदात्मजा
शूलधारिणी अम्बे भवानी माँ
जय जय गणेश साई जननी पलते विधाता
भजने वाले तेरे पुजारी बाबा।
रहीम को भजने वाले तेरे पुजारी बाबा।
राम रहीम को भजने वाले तेरे पुजारी बाबा।
राम रहीम को भजने वाले तेरे पुजारी बाबा।
तेरा नाम एक सहारा,
एक सहारा।
तेरा नाम एक सहारा,
एक सहारा।
तेरा नाम एक सहारा,
तेरा नाम एक सहारा।
तेरा नाम एक सहारा,
एक सहारा।
तेरा नाम एक सहारा।
एक सहारा।
बाबा तेरा नाम एक सहारा,
एक सहारा।
तुम ही हो गीता, तुम ही रामायण, तुम ही हो वेद पुराण।
तुम ही हो गीता, तुम ही रामायण, तुम ही हो वेद पुराण।
हो बाबा तुम ही हो गीता, तुम ही रामायण, तुम ही हो वेद पुराण।
तुम ही हो गीता, तुम ही रामायण, तुम ही हो वेद पुराण।
तेरा नाम एक सहारा,
एक सहारा।
तेरा नाम एक सहारा,
तेरा नाम एक सहारा।
तेरा नाम एक सहारा,
एक सहारा।
तेरा नाम एक सहारा।
तेरा एक सहारा।
बाबा तेरा नाम एक सहारा,
एक सहारा।
राम रहीम को भजने वाले तेरे पुजारी बाबा।
रहीम को भजने वाले तेरे पुजारी बाबा।
तेरा नाम एक सहारा,
एक सहारा।
तुम ही हो गीता, तुम ही रामायण, तुम ही हो वेद पुराण।
हो गीता, तुम ही रामायण, तुम ही हो वेद पुराण।
तेरा नाम एक सहारा,
एक सहारा।
तेरा नाम एक सहारा,
तेरा नाम एक सहारा।
तेरा नाम एक सहारा,
एक सहारा।
तेरा नाम एक सहारा,
एक सहारा।
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय
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 राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद 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 जय जय
राम रहीम को भजने वाले तेरे पुजारी बाबा तेरा नाम एक सारा
त्रिलोकपालिनी जगदीश्वरी त्रिलोकपालिनी जगदीश्वरी सदानन्दरूपिणी साईश्वरी सदानन्दरूपिणी साईश्वरी लोकपालिनी जगदीश्वरी कारुण्यलावण्य कादम्बरी कारुण्यलावण्य कादम्बरी परतीश्वरी अम्ब शिव शङ्करी परतीश्वरी अम्ब शिव शङ्करी लोकपालिनी जगदीश्वरी सदानन्दरूपिणी साईश्वरी लोकपालिनी जगदीश्वरी कारुण्यलावण्य कादम्बरी परतीश्वरी अम्ब शिव शङ्करी परतीश्वरी अम्ब शिव शङ्करी
Remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
Remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
Remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
Remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
I am home, eternal home. I am home, I am home, eternal home. Through this life of distraction and of illusion, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
This life of distraction and of illusion, remind me, my Lord,
Through this life of distraction and of illusion, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
this life of distraction and of illusion, remind me, my Lord,
I am truth, I am peace, divine bliss. I am truth, I am peace, divine bliss. Ananda Swarupa, He Prema Swarupa, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
Ananda Swarupa, Prema Swarupa, remind me, my Lord,
Ananda Swarupa, He Prema Swarupa, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
Ananda Swarupa, Prema Swarupa, remind me, my Lord,
I am love, I am love, pure love. I am love, 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 I am love, pure love. Remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
I am home, I am home, eternal home. Through this life of distraction and of illusion, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
Through this life of distraction and of illusion, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
I am truth, I am peace, divine bliss. Ananda Swarupa, He Prema Swarupa, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
Ananda Swarupa, Prema Swarupa, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
I am love, I am love, pure love. I am love, love, love. I am love. You are love. I am love. I am love. You are love. Remind me, my Lord. Remind me, my Lord. Remind me, my Lord, who I am.
Offering our collective pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. I warmly welcome you all to this special evening here in London. It is a pleasure to be your host as we gather to celebrate compassion, humanitarian excellence, and the transformative power of selfless service. We are profoundly blessed to be in the divine presence of the world's leading mentor who is spearheading the global One World, One Family mission. Through his visionary initiatives in nutrition, education, and healthcare, he is uplifting the lives of millions of underserved individuals every single day. I also want to extend a heartfelt welcome to our distinguished guests, dedicated supporters, and dear friends. Whether you have traveled from near or far, your presence here tonight is deeply valued. And to everyone watching the live stream around the world, thank you for joining us. To formally open this evening, I would now like to request the chairman of Anugram Charitable Trust, Dr. Grish Malhotra, to deliver his welcome address.
With loving and humble salutations at our beloved Sadhguru's lotus feet, I welcome everybody here, just as Amma has welcomed you all. This is actually a blessing for these isles, for this United Kingdom, and is a culmination of 7 days that Swami has spent in the United Kingdom. But you know, his tireless world tour started back in March. He's visited so many countries, I've had to write them down. Singapore, Malaysia, Kuching in Malaysia, Hong Kong, Fiji, US, Mexico, back to US, and now to the United Kingdom. After this, it doesn't end there. It goes on to Vienna, Austria, Croatia, Netherlands, Italy, Greece, Dubai, and then back to India. Swami, we thank you for blessing us all. We thirst for your presence and feel extreme gratitude that you've come to bless the United Kingdom. For indeed, that is what it is. It is a blessing. And what can our prayer be to Swami? We are in the United Kingdom, but really we truly want you to unite the kingdom. Your teachings are those of unity, And when I talk about uniting the kingdom, it's not that we are UK. It is that we all are able to see the unity in diversity of all those that we interact with, all those that are around us. That is the true unity that we can achieve. We need to see the similarities, not the differences between us. We need to see that same flame, that same spark that is inside each of our containers. There is no difference. There is only the one. So one may say that this requires enormous transformation, and I guess that's true, but the secret is in that word, transformation. Trans, to go beyond, and form, to transform, to go beyond the form. And that is the only way. When we see somebody else, we should see ourselves, a reflection of ourselves. We need to go beyond the form, and that is how the transformation will occur. Well, in these 7 days, I've seen and perhaps learnt a little bit from Swami by observing. And one particularly important and observation that I made was very significant, was that, Swami, you say and you do the right thing at the right time. Now, some of us may think that, well, we can practice that, we can do the right thing, and we can do the right thing, but the thing with Swami is he does it every single time. This can only happen when divinity is present. Swami's unending capability to interact with all those around him, whoever they are, without boundaries, without parameters, was displayed when we visited the prestigious House of Lords, and Swami interacted with some very eminent dignitaries in the House of Lords, up to government level. And I have to say that his interaction was absolutely seamless. His ability to interact, to communicate, and to put the points, the universal points across, was absolutely admirable. It's not something that can be done with the ease and grace that Swami displayed there. And indeed, the theme of his discourse, his conversation over there, was actually very, very simple. It was about goodness. Now, we all want to be good. And Swami said that this opportunity to be good is not given to all. Indeed, when we get the opportunity to do good, we should grab it with both hands and with gratitude, with no degree of superiority or one-upmanship or anything of that nature, because this is a blessing when you get this opportunity to do good. So if this opportunity arises, take it with gratitude. That was the general theme in the House of Lords. And indeed, this very morning, Swami he spoke to a few people, and he spoke about remaining steady and steadfast, equanimous in all situations, whether there be praise, whether there be blame. To maintain this equanimity in all situations, at all times. And this, of course, has got to be one of our aspirations. We have to aspire, we have to desire this if we are going to follow the spiritual path. So maybe we'll just consider aspirations. Where do these aspirations come from? We aspire to be this, we aspire to do that, we aspire to achieve this. Where do these aspirations come from? They come from our thoughts, which are from our mind. And after all, we know that the mind is just a bundle of thoughts. So where do these thoughts come from that come to our mind? They come from our tendencies. We have these tendencies, but we still have a choice whether to follow the thoughts or not. But they come from tendencies which come from the intellect, and where do these come from? From previous lives, etc. So if there's one thing that we have to really watch, is our thoughts, to see where they're arising from. And all these thoughts are driven from our experiences in this life and perhaps in our previous lives as well. And I'm a firm believer that everything in this universe starts from a thought. So thoughts are very powerful things. So if there's one takeaway that I would like to take away from this, is that watch your thought, because it will transform into action. And the action will be good or bad according to your thought. We have the very good fortune that we have the secret ingredient of having the guidance of a guru. We may put in all our efforts. The secret is that we have the guidance of a guru. Our intentions must always be good. Sometimes we carry out actions, but inside our motivation is different. It doesn't align with the action. We may act good, but inside we may not be thinking good. That alignment is an essential part of us following the spiritual path. And as I say, we have that secret ingredient of having the very good fortune of Swamis, our beloved Swami, to guide us through this quagmire of interactions that we have. I will now just, before I introduce the video, as many of you will know, Swami's work crosses nations, well over 100 countries, in the verticals of nutrition, education, and healthcare. What is being achieved, what has been achieved up till now, is astounding. The number of lives that have been touched directly is enormous. But what we must also consider is how many lives have been touched indirectly. When a child breaks that cycle that his father and his grandfather and his predecessors all had, and he breaks that cycle by giving that blessing of having education, that affects a whole generation going forward. So it's affecting the change in multiples. But now the time has come for this mission based on love, only based on love, compassion for our fellow man, going back to recognizing that unity is going to the next level. And we will pray for Swami later to give us that discourse. Just to give everybody a flavor of the work that's being done, we're going to play a video. So please, may we have the video, please? Thank you.
One world, one family is the ethos at the heart of our mission. This ideal comes from an ancient Indian principle which considers the whole world as one global family. And as a family, we believe all our family members deserve care and support. Across the globe, we serve millions through three main pillars: nutrition, education, and healthcare, all completely free of charge. The Annapurna Morning Nutrition Program began in 2012, providing breakfast for just 50 children, and has since grown to become India's largest morning nutrition program. Today, millions of school children across India and beyond receive the Sai Shore multi-nutrient supplement, helping them begin each day nourished and ready to learn. At our mission, we believe education is every human being's birthright. With a global presence and multiple campuses throughout India, we provide free education from grade 6 to doctorate studies, ensuring every student receives a well-rounded, values-based education that combines high-quality academics with moral and spiritual values. The Sri Satsang Sai University for Human Excellence opens doors previously unimaginable to children from underserved communities. By offering quality higher education to those traditionally overlooked, and with a strong emphasis on empowering women, we're breaking the cycle of educational disparity and promoting gender equality in education. Meanwhile, our Skill Development Center equips rural youth with job-ready skills, and our scholarship program supports education for thousands of rural children. Our commitment to empowerment is also demonstrated by People's Shores, an impact sourcing organization in the United States. We help youth from marginalized communities gain skills for the digital economy. This innovative model delivers high-valued business services while transforming lives and uplifting communities. Our vision for accessible medical education became a reality in 2023 when Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi inaugurated the Sri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research, India's first free, private, rural medical college. This institution aims to nurture noble-minded healthcare professionals who are dedicated to serving the underserved members of our society. Our healthcare mission goes beyond treating illness. We're pioneering solutions to bridge critical gaps in accessible medical care. And through our network of wellness centers, mobile hospitals, and multi-specialty facilities, we bring free healthcare directly to underserved rural communities. From preventative care to complex surgeries, at our hospitals, there are no billing counters. Since 2016, we've expanded beyond India to serve communities across the globe with the singular goal of leaving no person behind. Exemplifying this idea, our Sri Satsang Sai Sanjeevani centers form the world's largest chain of free pediatric cardiac hospitals, giving new life to children with heart defects. And with continually growing needs worldwide, we're expanding our healthcare facilities with the world's largest free hospital, a 600-bed facility that demonstrates our dedication to accessible healthcare for all. Our vision is clear: a society where life's value is measured not in wealth, but in compassionate service to those in need. And this vision only becomes a reality with the contribution and generous support of our global family. After all, we are all one world, one family.
One cannot fail but be touched by the impact that the work is having on so many. And I still can't forget one sentence I read in one of the congenital heart hospitals. No bill, only dil. It was a beautiful saying. Education, as you saw, is one of the verticals. And one of the initiatives that's going on is the purpose of education. Yes, it is to learn, rote learning, etc., but is human value-based education, or value-based education. And to that end, Swami's initiative to introduce value-based education for children of all ages is something that is taking off in many, many, many countries. And we indeed are launching those books that are going to be introduced into mainstream schooling at some point today. And I'm going to ask Seema to come up and say a few words about that. Thank you.
Offering my pranams, Swami. Sweet. Good evening, everybody. Sairam, lovely to see you. Beautiful, vibrant bhajans. And of course, as soon as Swami walks in, the energy completely lifts. I'm going to only speak a few words. It's about the topic of values-based education, which Swami is stressing the importance of, and especially in today's times, sadly, the education that is offered throughout the world largely is academic-based. There's very little values in the majority of institutions throughout the world that value, I would say, the human values of love, truth, peace, right conduct, and non-violence. I'm going to read you a quote. Some of you might be able to recognize who said this. Please do put your hand up, especially children, if you know. Try not to become a man of success, but rather to become a man of value. Anybody know who said this? Rumi? Terrific. Yes, that was the well-renowned scientist Albert Einstein actually said that many decades ago. So he knew that real education lies in bringing up individuals with character who practice the values in their daily lives. And not only in these times, but from ancient times, from ancient times in India and other countries as well. The ancient Greek philosopher also said, educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. So we pride ourselves nowadays on the degrees and the academic excellence in various institutions, brilliant institutions. But this is not enough to have love in the world, compassion, and so on. what is the use of acquiring high education if one is not wanting, if one is wanting in virtues at the end? What is the value of such an education? What is the use of 10 acres of barren land? Instead, a small piece of fertile land is good enough. That was Sai Baba said that. So there's no point. We can have highly qualified, doctors, engineers, teachers, any profession, but if they are merely aiming to accumulate wealth for themselves or only their families, then what's the point? What about the rest of the world who doesn't have and who don't even have access to that kind of education? I mean, Swami's doing all this with the rural population who don't even have access to all this kind of education. So this is what really we should look at, and what we like to spread, and what Swami's spreading, is we need to change the way we think about education and the way we educate our children. And it starts in the home, actually. It starts with parents. One has to be a role model for your child in the first 2-3 years even, because they pick up by example, they observe the behavior of the adults around. So even if we know that, we have to learn within the home to speak kindly with our family members. That's the first thing. Purify our speech and our thoughts and actions. So it begins in the home. The parents have the first responsibility. And then, of course, we need highly dedicated teachers who are compassionate themselves and who live those values. And it's the three things that count at the end of the day. It's the pupil themselves, the teachers and the parents, all three. It's like a triangle, have to be involved and on board with all of this, with the same mindset. So these books that have been introduced, Swami has approved and has, I believe, produced a lot of the material for these books. So these books, Do Good, Be Good, See Good, Do Good, are being taken around the world, and they're being adapted from the Indian version to different countries, and they're adapting them and being translated into various languages. And the idea is that slowly, it will be a slow process, that we will be able to teach these kind of values to children in our schools today. And slowly, when those children develop, then society will automatically become better. That is the key, the panacea of all the ills, really, is that each individual must be educated from an early age and taught the importance of being human and having those values. And ultimately, even spiritual values are there too, so that we must all recognize our divinity within. The values I'll just quickly go through are in the books, are the 5 values that Baba started with: love, peace, truth, right conduct, and non-violence. And the new additional 5 values are spirit of service, spirit of oneness, love for one's country or patriotism, awareness, self-awareness of mind, body, and spirit, soul, and the environment, the responsibility to the environment. Of course, there will be no humanity if we destroy, the planet with our actions. So all these topics are covered in these books from a young age, right from 3 to 4 years to 18, in various chapters with various ways through storytelling activities and various things. So I won't go into it, it'll take too long. And we're all waiting to hear Swami's talk anyway. But those are the key things. We have to remember that the 3 H's, we are a combination of head, heart, and hands. Heart meaning not the physical heart, there's the soul, the spirit as well, So the head has to be educated. But that's the imbalance. Today, people have enough intelligence up here, but lack of openness in the heart, lack of compassion. Too much ego comes from too much intelligence and lack of heart and compassion. And when we have that and we align that with the hands, we're taught to serve rather than just benefit and be doing everything for ourselves. We have to learn to become selfless more and more and follow our examples that have been set through all times by all the masters. And we are extremely fortunate to have a living master here in the form of Sri Madhusudan Sai, who's doing something absolutely divine, impossible for anybody else. So we had a team of 8 people who were adapting those books. We're modifying them. So if that's all right, Swami, if we can call them on the stage. So Nidhi, you can, all the, and Pamina, Anita. Okay. They're going to offer the books to be launched. We're going to launch those books today. And thereafter, we will try slowly to introduce them into schools here.
There's a lot of work that went into those books, and the same hard work is being carried out all around the world. And we hope that this will really take off around the world, and with Swami's blessing it will. Well, it's that time of the evening that we've all been waiting for, and so I will pray to Swami to give us his divine discourse. Sai Ram.
As I come back again to the United Kingdom, I carry the same message as I did the earlier times too. Unless we are united, there is no kingdom. And this unity is not just about the social unity or national unity, but it's the unity in our own thought, word, and deed that finally brings the kingdom of heaven within our hearts. What we think, what we speak, and what we do, it's all in one alignment. That integrity of thought, word, and action is truly the unity that brings that divinity within. And that divinity shines forth in our thoughts, words, and actions again. So it's like a perpetual cycle. And I think these books that have been launched just now, with a lot of hard work, it's a labor of love by so many people, is truly a structure, a methodology, a pathway for one to walk this amazing path of integrity of thought, word, and action. That's what we are trying to tell the children. And it's easy to start with the children because adults are a little too hard to mold. So we don't have any book for the adults. I thought, let's not waste our time. We'll do the children stuff first. So we have a lot of children. Of course, the world is full of children, and I go around the world and I meet so many people. And these books are called the same: Be Good, Do Good, See Good. But I think except in Argentina, where they said if we say it in whatever their language, I think Portuguese or something like that, it won't sound very good. So they asked me for another name. So I think in that country it is called the rainbow. Other sides is all be good, do good, see good. That's what goes around. So that's about a program that's going to be a global one. It comes under the program called Value Educate the World. In that you have Value Educate America, Value Educate India, Value Educate the United Kingdom, like that. In every country there is a version. And each of these books have been adapted to the customs and to the traditions and the storytelling of those countries, but the values have been kept universal. Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa, we all know those 5. But a little more to make it more contemporary, you have this spirit of service, self-awareness or mindfulness. You've got environmental consciousness, which is extremely important from today's point of view. And patriotism, you should have love for your land. And you should be a good citizen of your country first before you become a global citizen. So somehow we felt that these values should be added to. And it's a lot of work. It started way back in COVID times when people were all locked up in their homes. That's when this program began, and a lot of books were written by a lot of educators in India. 35 of them who worked on it for 3 years. Now it's available to the whole world, and slowly it will go to hopefully every school district, and people will use it for the benefit of their own children. So I'm very happy, and I want to first of all convey my blessings and congratulations to the entire team of Value Education of the United Kingdom. And I hope that this will truly bring the unity, the true United Kingdom to the world. So I'm very, very appreciative of all the efforts. But this is just the beginning, right? We have just started the journey. It's a long, long way till every child gets to know these values, gets to practice this value. And as teachers and educators and parents, we are able to provide the environment, the ecosystem within which the child can learn properly. So it's a real long journey. So in a way, somebody asked me, is this Bal Vikas? I said, Bal Vikas in the contemporary avatar. It is just that we wanted to make it more universalized so that anybody of any faith, any walk of life, any religion, any philosophy can still subscribe to these ideas and can teach their children. It's getting good traction. I think the people from Japan, it's gone there, it's gone to Australia, it's gone to, of course, America, Latin America. It's here, it's in Middle East, it's everywhere now. So slowly it's getting there. So I'm very happy about it, and I hope that one day every child who has the right to learn about good things gets to exercise that right, and then is able to turn into a good human being first before he turns into a divine being. So the journey begins now. I have a couple of such prospects in the audience, and I've lost a few. Oh, he's back, he's awake. I thought I lost an audience to sleep, but then the youngest one has come awake. Likewise, I love children because I think children are the purest reflections of the divine. They're still not contaminated by those terrible ideas of us versus them and I, me, mine, and you see all that happens as you grow. They don't know these differences. They don't even know that I'm a guru and you are supposed to be disciples and we are supposed to behave. They don't know and they don't need to know. They can be themselves. The idea is that if all of us could become like children, or at least childlike, that would be the right thing to do in this world, that pure innocence. So when Sumit was singing, remind me, my Lord, who I am. I mean, that's a £1,000,000 question, who I am. So he asked this question, who I am, and the first answer is I am the body, because this is my identity. I was given birth, and this is how I grew up, this is how I look, this is what I do, and things like that with the body. A man or a woman or a child or an old person. But beyond that, who I am, and when you ask again, you say, no, I'm more than that. I'm an intelligent person, or I'm a dullard, I'm a business-minded person, I'm a charitable person, I'm a kind-hearted person, I'm a little hard-hearted. So many qualifications of the mind are there. But then again you ask a question, who I am, and beyond that comes another answer, that I am love, I am truth, I am peace. So also I am your love, it says pure love, and your love is divine love that I am. And that's the ultimate answer. But you don't find all the answers on day one to these questions. But you must keep asking these questions to yourselves till you find the right answer. So questioning is an important integral part of spiritual journey. Our sages have questioned, saints have questioned, the great beings, the masters have questioned, and that is how they found answers to all those questions. It started with, yes, maybe I'm the body, and then they thought, no, I'm more than that. I'm the mind, and they thought, no, I'm more than that. That is how they come to this conclusion. So there's a beautiful story which comes from our Taittiriya Upanishad. And in that, Bhrigu it's called, and then Bhrigu is the little young, aspirant, knowledge seeker. He goes to his father, Varuni, and says, what is the secret of this universe? How does it all happen? What's the ultimate purpose of our existence? And Varuni says, well, you find out some answers to these questions. The question is, where do we all come from? Where do we all go? And what is the purpose? What do we do here? Why do we do what we do? These are the questions you have to find answers for. And he says that you go and ask these questions to yourselves, and in the silence of your heart, you'll find the answers. Go meditate, he says. Tapasa Brahma Vijijñāsasva. Get to know about the truth of Brahman by doing tapas, by doing penance. And that is more like silent sitting and contemplating and finding the answers within. So Father does not give ready-made answers. He says, find out for yourself. And this little Bhrigu goes and sits in the forest and meditates and contemplates and starts observing everything around him. How does it all happen? Where do people come from? Where do beings come from? Where do they finally go? And what happens in between? What is the reason they do whatever they do? And then he finds, first answer he gives is that Annam Brahmeti Vijanat. Annam, food is the reason for everything. We are born from food. Obviously, we eat, therefore we grow. And then we die and we become food again. Because we merge with the elements and we become food for somebody. And the reason we do everything in this world is to eat, to get food. Now, there are people who live to eat. There are people who eat to live also. But now the category of the first kind is more. So they just plan what is there for lunch, and then what's there for the dinner, and what's there for the next day. Their whole life revolves around that idea. So I think long time ago, Bhrigu figured that out, and he said, I figured this out. And he goes back to his father with the eagerness of a child to answer, that I found the answer. I've discovered it. So he goes to his father and tells him, Father, I found the answer. Father says, what's the answer? He said, the answer is we are all born of food. We die and become food, and we live only to eat and enjoy food. Father says, not yet there. Go back. Think a little more. It's not just food that should be the purpose of your life. There is more to life. So Bhrigu goes back, starts meditating. What else? And he says, no, food is okay there, but there is something that guides this. So he says, Prano Brahmeti Vyajanat. I figured it out. That truth is that life force, prana that we call the life force within us is the reason for everything. Because if that is not there, food won't get digested. A dead body does not digest food. So he says, no, there is more to it. So he goes and says, prana means the life force is the reason why we are there. So we are born because of a life force, we live because of a life force, and we die at the end, and this life force disappears from us. That's when we die. So life force is the reason why we are all here. That is the ultimate truth. He goes back and tells, Father, I've discovered prana is the reason for everything. Prana is God. He said, no, not yet there. Go back and meditate again. He goes back again, meditates, thinks, not is this, then what else is there? And he realized that all our life force is used in a certain way. We have desires, we use our energies to fulfill those desires, but where are these desires coming from? So like Girish said, it all emerges from your thought, your mind. Mind is a bundle of thoughts, Bhagavan would say. So that is the idea. So he says, oh, mano brahmeti vyajanat. Mind is the reason for everything. Because we have a desire, we have a thought, we want to fulfill that thought. That could be food, that could be to live as long as possible, enjoy the pleasures of things, all kinds of things. So mind is the reason. So he goes back and says, mind is the reason for everything. Mind is the reason we are born. Mind is the reason we die. And mind is the reason we do everything that we do here. Father says, good, it's progress, but it's not there. Go back again and meditate. Brigu doesn't give up. If I tell somebody 3 times, they won't come back for my satsang the 4th time. But Brigu is a true seeker. He says, no, till I find the answers, I'm not going to give up. So he goes back again. And this time, what does he do? He goes back and meditates and says, if it's not mind also, then what else it is? Then he says, Vijnanam Brahme Divyajanad. It is the knowledge that guides the mind. And mind guides the life force. And life force is the reason why we can eat food and digest and live. So he says there is an idea of knowledge seeking within all of us. And it is from that knowledge we are born. Because you see, even an animal, a calf that is born intelligent with certain ideas. It knows how to walk, where to find food, where to go about doing its things. And so there is a deeper thing called knowledge or vijnana, the intelligence, which is inherent in all creation. And that intelligence is where we come from, and that is the reason we live, and that is how we ultimately die. So he goes and reports to his father, 4th time. Father says, very good, but still you are not there. Like this time, definitely the devotee won't come back. You meditated forever and you have come back with such good answers, very practical ones, but the teacher is not satisfied. He says, you didn't find the right answer. Go back again, meditate. And he doesn't pester his father. Why are you troubling me? Just tell me the answer. He says, no, you discover it for yourself. So 5th time, Brigu goes back to meditate and think, why do we use our intelligence? Just to eat food? Just to live long? Just to fulfill our desires? No, there should be something more. Why do we do that? He says, it's for the sake of joy. We want joy in everything. If food is not giving us joy, we won't eat that food. If some action is not giving us joy, we won't undertake that action. If we don't find happiness in meeting somebody, we won't go and meet them. So intelligence alone is not the reason for everything. There is beyond intelligence the idea of seeking joy. Anando Brahmeti Vyajanat. I have understood God is truly the reason for everything, and God has to be joy. Because joy is the reason why we do things. Nobody is going to be sitting here if you are not if you're not happy meeting me, or I am not happy meeting you, we won't be here. It's not the intelligence, it is not the food, it's not the other things. It is the joy of things that's the reason why we come. And then he, this time, does not come back to his father because he has discovered the truth. And he doesn't need any validation anymore. He doesn't need his father's approval or his father's agreement. He knows this is the truth, and he feels so much of joy within the moment he discovers this truth that he's lost in that joy, Ananda. He doesn't come back to the Gurukula to report to his father. And then now father knows that something has happened. He hasn't returned. Let me go. So father himself goes to him and talks to him, and then he realizes that his son has realized the truth, that it is for that joy of things that we live. God's nature is joy, ultimate pure joy, not just any joy. Food also gives joy. If you live healthy, prana, good joy you get. If you're intelligent, you're able to learn things, you're able to fulfill your ambitions, desires, like your mind's diktats, you feel joy. You feel joy when you do something very intelligent. You find a solution to a problem that was otherwise eluding everybody. There is joy. But beyond all these things, also there is a joy that exists on its own, independent of all these other 4 things that he had discovered. And finally finds out that that joy is the true self, and we are born out of that joy, we are made of that joy, and we merge in that joy at the end. The question now is, then where is all this misery in the world coming from? If we were born of joy, if we are made of joy, if all that we do is supposed to give joy, then where is this whole misery coming from is the question. What happened? What went wrong in the process? Where did we deviate? Where did we miss the turn? Why are we not experiencing that joy all the time? That's why Sumit is saying. Because we forget who we are. That is why we don't experience joy. So remind me who I am. You're full of Ananda. You're Ananda Swarupa. You're a Prema Swarupa. You're, what is Swarupa you are? Ananda Swarupa, hey Prema Swarupa. Remind me, my Lord, who I am. Because you are full of joy. You are full of love. I am also the same. We are the same. So please remind me, because I keep forgetting. Like the story I tell our children. There was this lion cub which was lost in the flock of sheep when it was born. He did not know it's a lion. He thought it was a sheep, and it was raised by the sheep. So it bleated like a sheep, ate grass, and did everything like a sheep. And one day a big lion entered that forest. But all these sheep were scared for their lives. They ran hither to save themselves. And they told this cub, run for your life. There is a big lion who is here, will eat us up. And he said, what is the lion? He said, that huge big creature is lion. It's a ferocious one. It will eat us up. Let's run. While all the sheep ran, something in this lion cub did not agree with it. He felt drawn to that beautiful, majestic creature because he was that. He was attracted to that. While sheep ran for their lives, he stood there, mesmerized, adoring, admiring that wonderful big lion sitting there at the edge of the forest. And he dared to walk to the lion because he was attracted, drawn by that presence. And when he went there, the lion said, what are you doing with all these sheep? And he said, what do you mean? I am a sheep after all. He said, you are not. You're a lion. He said, no, I'm a sheep. I eat like sheep. I bleat like sheep. I do everything like a sheep. And even he bleated and showed, see, I am a sheep. He said, no, you are not. You are a lion. What do you mean? You are me. I am you. We are the same person. We are the same things. I said, no, I don't believe you. He said, come with me. And he takes him to a little pond. And he makes him look at his own reflection in the pond. And when this little cub looks at himself in the pond, he realizes that he is not a sheep because he doesn't look like them. He looks like him, the one big majestic creature which just arrived on the scene. And he says, yes, I do look like you, a smaller version, a miniature version. And he says, yes, that's because you are a lion. And you shouldn't be scared like those sheep. You shouldn't be running here and there. You should be fearless like me. And with a little effort, he learns to roar. And he realized that he is a lion after all. So what is this reminder that Sumit is talking about? This is the reminder. You're not humans, you're divine. Life is not about a human being trying to realize divine. Life is about actually a divine being living a human experience. It's not human trying to experience divine. It's the other way around. But we forget on the way, like the cub forgot, it's a lion and not a sheep. That's all it is. So the whole trick is in reminding ourselves. Now, like the cub resisted in the beginning, because it was a creature of habit. It only lived with the sheep, so it was hard for it to shrug it away and believe that it is not a sheep. It lived for so long like a sheep, so it was difficult for him to believe. But once he trusted the process, walking to the water, looking at his own reflection, putting a little efforts to roar, and there it was, a lion. This is all the effort that we put. We don't have to, in spirituality, the good thing is that you don't have to go somewhere and become something. Suppose you want to become a doctor. What do you need to do? You have to undergo training, years and years. In India, it is 5-6 years. In the UK, maybe 8-10 years. In the US, it's forever. They never become a doctor, I just realized. They go on training. So you have to go there, do something, learn something from the outside, fill your head with more information, knowledge, skills, and then you're a doctor. Similarly, you are a lawyer or a businessman. Anything requires some effort that you need to go out and put. Being divine does not require any effort. I think it's too simple to be true. That's why people don't believe in it. Being divine simply means believing in being divine. That's all. Like the cub had to believe that it's a lion and not a sheep. He didn't do anything. Did he do anything special? Did he go somewhere to an academy of becoming a lion and get a degree of a lion and then became and realized that I am a lion? No, he didn't do anything. Then and there he realized he's a lion because it was already a lion. That is the idea in spirituality. So simple, much simpler than all other subjects, because all other subjects require some efforts to go and do something. Spirituality just requires effortlessness. Just a belief in the words of the scriptures, the words of the Guru, in the words of the great ones. Simply believing in it can also help us realize that. So that's as simple as that. So why all these value education books and things like that? To realize this, there is a process. If you straight away go to a child and say, you know what, you are God, you are divine, they won't understand anything. But we can make them behave like God, like you tell the lion cub, try to roar. Maybe it will still bleat. It will say, no, try again. It will bleat again. Third time it may just let out a roar. Like that, the kids, be compassionate, be truthful, be non-violent, be generous, be mindful, be all these little processes. If you teach them, someday they'll roar like a lion. Someday they will think, yes, we are divine after all. So there is a process. There is a process. It's not as hard as becoming a dentist like Girish, but it's still a process. It's a process. That process is what I'm trying to tell you through the value education books. It's for the kids. For the elders, meditate on the scriptures. Read and reread till you get it. Listen to good discourses. Engage in selfless activities, service, which help you to express that divinity. Be in satsang, in the company of the right people, so that you get the right thoughts. And keep putting that effort every day. That's all it is. It's not complicated. It's not difficult. I was in some place, I was in Mexico. And this was a meeting like this, and many people came and they said, so what kind of mantra that you give? What kind of initiations? Because they are used to all these things. I think these Indian gurus have ruined the habits of people by just going around distributing mantras, distributing meditation techniques, practices. Of course, it helps you to focus and to concentrate and to be there. But is that all of it? No. This, ladder, as I said, the milestone is not the destination. Milestone only tells you which way to go. So like this, these practices are necessary to put some sense into your whatever you do. But ultimately, it is this understanding of who you are. So I was telling, I don't have any formula. I don't have a shortcut. I don't have a process like a ritual that you do it 100 times, you will get there. If you do it 500 times, you'll get there faster. You do 1,000 times, it'll be instant. No, nothing like that. Numbers don't work here. Amount of time that you spend doesn't work here. It is the quality of whatever your thoughts and actions are. That's what works here. So I was telling, I didn't learn it that way. Somebody has to help him. Yeah, I did not learn it that way. I told I don't have a ritual because my master didn't teach me a ritual. I don't know if anybody of you received mantras and dikshas from Bhagwan. At least I didn't receive any. And neither he used to give any. Some people who are very spiritual, in the sense those saints, and somebody comes, they ask something, just to satisfy them, he may say something. Okay, do this puja, do this mantra, do this japa. But to us, especially those who were very much around him, he never said. He said just love all, serve all. And that didn't sound very convincing. Will that help us realize divinity? Of course, this is the fastest and the surest way. Chanting a mantra every day 108 times may not be the surest way. But loving all and serving all is the surest way. He's made it so simple that it was so too simple to be true. It was hard to believe it is true, and so nobody wanted to believe in it. So the idea is that I have simplified it to so this extent. I cannot make it simpler than that. I made it even less. I said just believe, and everything will happen. You start with belief that, no, my master said, that's what Mr. Tiger keeps saying, that, I am whatever I am, I'm known for 100 other things, but my master says I'm divine, so I believe I am divine. And I have seen Mr. Tiger's divine side too. I don't know how many of you have witnessed that. We travel together, and I've seen the glimpses of that divinity, which suddenly, it will suddenly express itself through him. And those are the moments I know he is divine. He's in touch with his divinity. Though he looks like, the tiger that he looks like. He had a job to chase away all foxes and jackals and things like that. But he had a task, so he behaved. But he's deep inside, he is that divine. And I have noticed that, I have experienced that too. So all I'm saying is that I think our system is very simple. First you believe. And if you don't believe in it, then there's no point in starting on this journey. If you don't even believe you're going to reach, you're going to make it, then why start at all? We believe that we are divine, but we are not able to experience it. We need a few reminders and a little guidance on this path. That's all, like the big lion guiding the small one. And that's exactly as I said, there are so many millions of Londoners or so many millions of people of UK or other world, but a handful of you are on this journey. Everybody's on their own journey. I'm not saying anybody is not, but you have a guidance, you have a certain path, you have a certain method. It's been given to you, not to everybody. So definitely it's a thing of great luck and fortune to get that, to be interested in spirituality, to be wanting to realize that. It is a blessing in some way or the other. And it doesn't mean that once you become whatever, the spiritualized, you will lose the human touch. No, you will be more human, you will be more kind, more compassionate. You spiritual people are not cold-hearted, insensitive beings. No, they are far more humans than others. They can cry with humans, they can laugh with humans. They can smile with people, they can even frown. So while gurus guide, they also chide, by the way, Girish. They do anything in their capacity to help. So you don't lose any of the human side of you, but you only divinize it a little. You do it for the greater good of all. You continue to be a doctor. So if a doctor realizes divine, will he stop being a doctor? No. He will continue to be a doctor. But his attitude towards everything would be different. That's all I'm saying. There's nothing changes. Physically, nothing changes. Maybe you can start dressing like me if you want to, but not necessary. Believe me, it's very hot. It is not very nice. Ask ladies who wear silk saris. They curse me every time I pull out a silk sari to give, especially these foreigners. They look at it and say, it's so heavy, it is hot, it is uneasy. Give us something simple. So in India, if you give simple saris, they will feel very, very insulted. How could you just give such a simple sari to me? You didn't respect me. So in India, you have to pull out kanjivarams and nice saris to give, then they feel very respected. Whereas if I give it to the foreigners, they faint, they say, no, not this again, this is too hot. So you don't have to change anything to be a spiritual. You can wear what you wear, eat what you eat, go where you go, do what you do, but with a different attitude. Now what happens, the attitude is for the greater good of all. That's all changes. Nothing else changes. All else is just rituals, all else is just, as I said, some disciplines, but that does not add to your spiritual ultimate goal. Only this idea of love, peace, kindness, compassion, and whatever little things we're trying to teach the kids. If we all can learn a little, good for us. And if you want, you can also read those books. They're very interesting, by the way. They're very interesting. You need not start from the ABCD of it, from the pre-nursery kind of the books, but you can definitely read the book that's meant for 16, 17 years old. It's very, very deep and very simple. Stories are nice. There are examples of people who have done it before us, so it gives us the confidence that we can do it too. And there are nice activities. You can do it with your family and friends. So I think the first beneficiaries should be you people. You should try it out for yourself. And then probably you can teach to 10 others around you. It's very easy. So do try this, because I've gone through every one of them. And I have corrected many things. But I have not gone through the UK version of things. But the main original idea, the book that it was, that I have gone through. So please do try that out. And do believe that it's possible. And you're not sheep, you're the lion. It's possible. And don't ever worry that will it make me a hard-hearted person. Like hard-hearted in the sense, will I become cold-blooded? Will I not have any emotions? Will I not be nice to my children? Will I get detached and walk away from everything? Will I become a mendicant, a recluse? None of this will happen. If these are happening, that you have not again got it right. Something went wrong in your learning. You should be right here, but not the person that you were yesterday. You're a different person. Your understanding, your approach, your attitude, everything is divinized now. So you look at everything from the point of view, what is there for every one of us? How can I help? What greater good can happen because of my thought, word, and action? And that's where spirituality happens to ordinary people also. Many people got worried when I started teaching these Upanishads and scriptures. They said, we are not trained in Sanskrit language. So are we qualified to learn this? I said, all the more qualified, because you don't have to get entangled in those grammar and Sanskrit and things like that. You can just get the essence. No, you don't have to worry about the other things. If you know little Sanskrit, then you'll start analyzing every word, grammar and tense. That is unnecessary. Get the essence and learn it. So that's all intellectual. If you don't know Sanskrit, it's even better in a way. So please do benefit from it. But at the end, it boils down to a simple thing, believing that we are divine. So then once you believe that, like the cub believes its lion, now it's lost its fear. It's lost the worries of the sheep. It stopped eating grass, which was not its food. It stopped being fearful. Suddenly it has reclaimed its powers that were lost to it. But that was not the true loss, because it was only forgotten. It was not lost. Likewise to us, our divinity is not lost. Our divinity is only forgotten. It is possible. But that means you have to stop eating grass. And if you love grass too much, then it's very difficult to become a lion. So you have to learn to let go of few things that is only very human or very ordinary for the sake of the extraordinary. But you don't have to stop being mothers and daughters and fathers and uncles and children and grandparents. You can continue to be all of that. None of this is to be given up. But the attitude of me, mine, I, that will go away. And that's maybe initially it looks scary because we are used to certain ways. So when you have to let go of those and change those ways, slightly it feels uncomfortable in the beginning, but it will not last too long. These are all those little transition symptoms, transformation symptoms, but they'll go away if you stay put and stay long enough doing what I'm asking you to do. So just be kind, be generous, be charitable, be compassionate, and do things for the greater good. These things will get you there. And always remind yourself that I'm divine. And if I'm divine, then this is how my thoughts, words, and actions would be. It should be full of compassion. It should be full of love. It should be full of peace. Then that's the end of the process. So that is how it works. At least it has worked for me. I was told just serve and love and don't worry about yourself. Don't think about your selfish things. Just do it for others' sake. And I just kept doing that. And slowly, initially it was difficult because it was a new thing. We are always told, first look after yourself, then you can serve others. But here I was told, no, don't even bother about yourself, just serve. So it took some efforts to let go of that fear and self-preservation. Those are instincts, don't go so easily. But eventually you overcome that and then life goes on. This is like second month or second in travels and more than that. I've been in so many places, met so many people. People ask me, are you exhausted? Are you okay? I said, I'm okay because I'm not. When you do things for yourself, you get exhausted. When you do things for others, you don't get. Body gets tired sometimes. Time zones are different. You eat different food, sleep on different beds. Those are things which will slowly, will tire the body. But are you exhausted from the point of view that, that fatigue that sets in? No, I can't do it anymore. Not true. When you're only doing for yourself, when your stakes are high because it's about you, your ego, your identity, your personal gains, your personal losses, those fears don't allow you to think freely. But when it's about others, you don't get ever exhausted. Yesterday we had a long chat and everything in the afternoon, and at the night when I came back to the room, I just had a wash and I was sitting and Vinod comes and tells me, you are as fresh as you were when you went out. That's because of the nice face wash that Grish has kept. But I said, because maybe while talking your throat will hurt, maybe your body will ache sitting for long, but then your mind is not exhausted. See, that is why even today somebody was telling, this can't be human. This much you travel, still you talk to everybody as if this is the first day of your things. This can't be human. I said, it is not human. That is why it is not feeling so. It is divine only, so using you to do its things. That is exactly, and the best part is everybody is the same. See, nobody is less. If you think I am greater somehow and you are lesser somehow, no. Every lion is a lion. Lost in the flock of sheep is a different matter altogether. But every lion is a lion in some way. So that is the idea. So be confident about your truth. Try to live by that and start with greater good in your mind. Whatever you think, say or do, what is it for everyone in this? What is the greater good that will be achieved by this? Start with that. And step by step, you will figure out what else needs to happen. And finally, a day will come when you are not concerned and bothered about your own self. It will be taken care of. The universe works for you then. You just work for others. and the universe works for you. That will come, and that day you will realize that this is the true divinity, which has no fear, which has no self-preservation, there are no such ideas of mine and thine. It is simply pure love, peace, and kindness, as the song says. So yes, I have to come every year to remind you, because you shouldn't forget it by next year. I have to come again then. But I don't want to come to remind here. I want to come and celebrate the achievements, not to again remind the same lessons over and over again. That shouldn't be my job, isn't it? I tell the greatest Guru Dakshina you can give. Guru Dakshina means you have to offer gifts to Guru for what he does, is to not make him repeat his lessons. That is the best gift you can give to your Guru, the gratitude. Once he has told, you got it, you practiced it, you achieved it. He doesn't have to repeat his instructions and lessons again. That is the best respect that you can show. So I think when I come next time, I don't have to remind anybody. I'd have to just celebrate that you already know it. And we just enjoy being with each other. And like Dakshinamurti Stotram says, it is a great scene under a tree. What's happening under a Vatavriksha, under a banyan tree? What is going on? There is a young teacher and there are old disciples sitting over there. Young teacher does not speak a word, yet the doubts of the disciples are dispelled. That should be the day between Guru and disciples. When I don't have to speak, why should I? Because you already know it. Then why should you be in my presence? Just to enjoy the presence. Like, why should you go to your parents? Not every time to ask something, sometimes just for being with them. So idea is that. Let us try and develop that kind of understanding of this relationship. And as I said, I have no other method. My method is very simple. Live for others, you will be God. Live for yourself, you will remain where you are. Maybe you can even devolve into an animal when you don't mind hurting others for your preservation. But if you live for others, every day you inch towards your divinity or you go deeper. So that is how the method is. Use it for your own benefit. Now, if you become divine, it helps everyone. Because that's one person less for me to deal with. That makes my job easier, right? So that is the idea. Any questions you have? Quick 2-3 questions only. Even kids can ask questions. Arjun, you have any questions? You have any questions? No? No? Was my talk good? Was it okay? What's Vidya? Yeah, it was good. What did you learn from it? Anything you want to share? They're very smart. Yesterday they were answering all the questions. Nothing? What? Aro? Anything you want to tell? No. Yeah, tell Vidya, you want to say something? I'm a liar. I am a lion. Okay, sorry. That's true. You're a lion of a person though, yeah? Not the real one in the jungle. But she heard the story. Huh? I thought they were all simply playing. They're not listening to me. But see, only their bodies are there, minds are listening to what I'm saying. Yesterday I showed a video of our hospital, of a patient who was treated, of whose daughter was treated, and all that video. And I asked these people, these kids, so what did you learn? So they were telling this. And I told, how much did the patient pay to get the service? And that boy says 0. He heard the whole video that it is not charged. So I mean, they have that the ability to understand things. Good. Any questions? Yeah. Yes.
Thank you. I'm very new to this journey myself. Since visiting Bangalore, the hospital, and seeing all the amazing work you do, I've really been committed to following this journey. Running the youth charity, the youth charity I've started is called Ekyam. It's a Sanskrit word for oneness, for unity. We preach non-violence a lot of time. So I'm hoping with your wisdom today, you can help me answer a question that I get asked quite a lot, especially by young boys. With a lot of the work that we do in the current climate situation in UK, the different way that people in our community are being brought up, we preach non-violence as a standard measure to teach young people. The one question I get is when they're faced with violence, when is it okay to use violence? Or that is the question I get asked. And sometimes I do struggle to maybe answer this with the correct wisdom, and hopefully you can teach me something today as how I can respond to this, because these young boys, unfortunately, although they don't want to practice violence, they don't want to get involved with violence, sometimes violence comes to them. And a bit about my history, a lot of my life has involved a lot of violence. Some I'm very embarrassed about, some I was involved with, which my conscience, my heart has shown me that, that it was a wrong path, and it's taken me a lot to change, but that was something within myself. I can't find the words to explain that to other young people to find that path.
I understand. I think very, very pertinent question that you teach non-violence, but then you come across a situation of violence when it comes to you. And how do you behave? How do you react? How do you respond to it? And especially now, you know that whenever, even if violence came to you and you became violent, you only felt guilty at the end. You didn't feel good about it. Even if the other person was wrong and you went the same way, at least from your experience, you know that you don't feel good at the end of it. But then the times and situations were such that you had to be violent, probably to defend yourself, for self-preservation. So in our schools, I teach all these girls self-defense techniques, so that just in case somebody attacks them, they should know how to handle that situation and escape. They don't have to beat the person into a pulp, but then at least they should escape and not get hurt. So I think first thing I would tell about being of the use of strength or power is for self-defense. Right? You have every right to defend yourself and protect yourself, and protect 10 others around you also if you know how to do it. The strength is not to hurt anyone, it is not to harm anyone. That's the first idea of strength and power one should be learning when it comes to the idea of violence or non-violence, because unless you are powerful, you can't be violent. But the power comes with huge responsibility, which is to defend and not to harm or hurt. So I think you don't tell them that, no, you shouldn't even try to defend yourself. That would be absolute wrong interpretation of non-violence. You have every right to defend yourself. That is the first thing you should tell them. Now, beyond that, how far should you go? You fight for your country, you kill the enemy soldier. That's violence too. But this violence again is done for the greater good of preservation of your country, yourself. You're duty bound to do that, right? I would not want any war to happen, no conflicts should happen, nobody should fight with another person. But should such a situation arise, as a soldier, you're duty bound to defend your country. So that's not again a violence, because again you're trying to defend your country, right? So whenever it is about defending the right cause, all our gods, in India, you see everybody sits with weapons. So one day somebody asked me, all your Indian gods are so violent. Look at, nobody is free of weapons. And you talk about non-violence in your textbooks, in your value education books. I said, why is it so? They're killing demons all the time. In fact, somebody caught hold of me, told, Krishna is teaching Bhagavad Gita, and what does he teach Arjuna? Go kill everybody right now. Arjuna says, I don't want to kill anyone. I want to go home, beg and eat. I don't want the kingdom. I don't want the blood of my people on my hand. Let me go back. Krishna says, no, that's escapist. You stand here, fight the battle. But what Krishna says to Arjuna, more people stop here, that's wrong. What he says, this is your duty as somebody who has to protect his people and defend your people, defend the righteousness. You don't fight for winning a kingdom or reclaiming your authority. You are fighting to defend dharma, to do what is right. In that process, if there is war or bloodshed that has happened, it is not violence. It is done with a greater idea of protecting dharma. So that protecting dharma is not violence, is the first thing I want to tell. If it demands to protect dharma, and sometimes you have to go that way, you have to go that way, there is no other choice. But that is not categorized under violence. Violence is intentional harm to others. Unintentionally also, I might be walking, I may step on I step on an insect. I didn't intend to kill that insect, but it can happen. Are you violent? No, you didn't, because you didn't intend. So intention behind the action is the definition of whether it is a violent act or it is a non-violent act. That we should get it right. Otherwise, in the name of non-violence, good people get erased from the world. They say, no, we are non-violent, we are not supposed to do this. Then what happens? They disappear. The bad progresses further. So why our gods were holding these weapons and killing the demons? Because there was a need for it. There was a need for it. So I'm not promoting wars and conflicts and violence and harms, but I'm just saying the intention behind that action is more important. You didn't do it because you just enjoyed doing it. You didn't do it because you were a part of a gang that was doing it. You didn't do it because you're a habitual violent person. You didn't do it because you enjoyed a sadistic joy out of it. No, you did it to protect someone. You did it to defend the right thing. That is not called violence. That is called defense. That is called protection of dharma. That's why Bhagavad Gita is still the text that everybody reads. But it is the most violent text because that was the most bloodiest war in the history of humanity that was ever fought. And the cause for it is Krishna. Because Arjuna was running away. But Krishna said, no, let's fight. So the idea of violence has to be understood. I think when you talk to people about non-violence, tell them this. Your intention should not be to harm. Yes, so then your conscience is clear. Then everything will be okay. That is the most important part of it. But we must teach our children self-defense because the world is difficult, especially girls I'm very particular about. Because they get harmed in many of these countries. I'm sure everywhere. But then I tell them, we in our hospitals too, we get women patients who have been beaten up by their husbands, who are drunk. And when I ask them what exactly happened, they tell that the husband, the typical goes drinks, comes back in the night, beats the wife, and she comes with all the bruises and broken arm and things like that. And I told, this is not right. You should know how to defend yourself. No, he's my husband, he's Pati Parmeshwar, but he should behave like Parmeshwar, he's not behaving like one. So you don't beat him up. I'm not saying you harm him, but you protect yourself. How can you not do that? You have every right to protect yourself. That's when we started this girls' self-defense training program. I said, you defend yourself, forget about beating anybody up. And everybody has right to do that. That is not violence. Okay? Yeah. Any other question? Yes, Uma. Yeah, Uma Gordon. Yeah.
Thank you, Swami. For Ugadi discourse, you said it's Parabhavanama Samvatsaram, but it is not humiliation.
No.
It's Parabhava, going beyond the world, going beyond. So you have to do daily meditation, you said, Swami. But it is difficult, Swami. You said in this year, meditation will help through the day. You won't get into difficulties with words, your actions. But I'm finding it's quite difficult, Swami, to meditate in this. Is there any help?
Do it in smaller bits. Don't do it at one go. Like somebody I asked, so you are a very fit person, you look very good. How much time do you exercise? What time in the morning? He said, no, I exercise throughout the day, he said. I said, what do you mean? He said, every now and then I keep sitting for 15 minutes, I get up and start walking after 15 minutes. I have alarms. And anything that I climb stairs, I don't take the lift. This is the way I keep myself fit. And I like that idea so much. I said, meditation should also be like this. Why should you sit and meditate only in the morning at some unearthly hour? Why should you not meditate throughout the day? In the sense, put alarms. Every hour, I call it 1 minute meditation. Every hour you put an alarm, like water alarm in school, and water bell is there, you drink water then. Like that an alarm goes off and says, no, this is time for a minute, you have to cut yourself off from everything and meditate who you are and what you are here for. And I said, this year I've been telling actionable compassion is the way to deal with issues. So if something happens, you see, how can I show more compassion? How can I show more concern? Do the greater good. That will take care of it. So do small bits of meditation. If you do in the early morning, meditations are good because your mind is fresh. And if you have had a good sleep, if you didn't have a good sleep, morning meditations don't work. But if you had a refreshing sleep, you wake up, in the mind is quite calm in the mornings. And at that point in time, it listens to you. So it is easier to go beyond, thoughts and what I mean parabhava. But during the course of the day also you can take those minutes off to just do the same thing. It helps. And it can be done anywhere. The best part is that, see, the other people say meditation means find a quiet corner. Even Bhagavad Gita says so. It says put the deer skin and then put this kushagra grass and then sit like this and bend your head. Yes, that is the method of it. But this meditation I'm talking is simply a reminder to yourself, like he was saying. Just a reminder meditation. What am I here for? What am I doing? Is it in alignment with my original purpose? If not, then let me realign myself. Course corrections I can do. Throughout the day you can do this. It's very easy. It's very easy. So do try that one. Then it will be easier. This boy wants to ask a question. His name is Arjun. Yeah. Not you, this is the boy. Yes, ask me.
I have a card for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, a card for me. You people made it just now, I know. Yeah. Sure, you want to give it to me? You'll have to explain what's there in the card, okay? Come up like that. This is what they did through the discourse. Thank you. Can you stand here for a minute? What's written in the card? Here. To Swami, I
love you.
And yeah, here again, to Swami, I love you, namaste. Okay. And who is this?
You.
Me? I look dashing, thank you. Thank you. Can I give you a vibhuti? Yeah, here it's for you. Okay, good boy. See, I told you, children are easy. You also have a card? You want to show this to me? You want to come up and it's a rocket. Where is it going? Where is the rocket going? Still planning where to go. Some imagination of ours. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's nice too. Yeah. You want to give it to me? Come up. Yeah. Show me. All red and what's comes. Come up. Come up. Oh. Why everything is red in this? Oh yeah, I know, but okay, yeah. Oh, the rocket launch is into the space. That's the rocket that she has made. That's nice, and she has put all the numbers. Okay, good. So where is the rocket going? To moon? Yeah, to moon. Okay, to the moon. Okay. Very imagination. Who has a question? Oh yes, Sandeep. Yeah. There's a mic.
It's me.
Somebody already has a mic, so I'm sorry. Let you speak in after.
Street?
No, you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sami, for this wonderful speech. For me, I'm quite new. I'm still a sheep, so probably not realized to be a lion.
Don't worry, there are a lot of people who are sheep here.
So I'm still new in the journey. Thanks to my brother Tiro, always brings me this opportunity.
Yes.
What you describe, I'm new, so apology for that. Whatever you describe with this one world, one family, is what I can see as a human flourishing, which has been used a lot in research or in other places to discuss this idea of well-being, spiritual well-being, social well-being. When I try to teach or research on that, I'm an academic, I try to explain why a CFO business must embrace this human flourishing. The answer I give is, what is the driver? I always say love, compassion. But why is this so difficult to explain to the business usual approach or finance usual approach why this should be the way instead of continue to look at a work as short-term approach on increasing financial benefits?
Yeah. No, actually, the business per se is not a good or a bad thing. And business by definition is to make financial profits. Business by definition. A charity is supposed to make social impact. A business is supposed to make financial gains. If it doesn't make, then it's not a business at all. It is also a charity. So earning money is not an issue at all. But I always tell the CEO or whoever it is, earning money at what cost, at what price? By destroying the planet, by hurting the people, by bending the policies. At what price are you making money? That's all. So if you really see from that point of view, all those people who took shortcuts and tried to make quick bucks by doing the wrong things, they didn't last. Sooner or later those people vanished and they left behind a bad example for others. And nobody respects them for that. A lot of companies, they go bust because they were all selling the snake oil, as they say. They are not. So CEOs know that if they do too much of wrong things, anyway they will be busted someday and it's all going to go into thin air. But beyond that, as I said, the only conditions I ask of business people is make profits, but at what cost? Not at the cost of people, not at the cost of society, not at the cost of the planet. So do good businesses, that's it. That's all I'm saying. Now, there are so many businesses, they're harming children, they're hurting the youth, they're spoiling the culture of the societies, but they're making money nevertheless. But do we want such businesses is the question. So that sensitivity the CEOs should have. Making money is not the primary problem. If they make money, they pay taxes, it comes to government, it goes back circling to the society, things grow, evolve, good for everyone. But not at the price, that's all. I'm not expecting them to go overtly like a charity and do more than what they're expected to. But if they just do business the right way, that itself is a help. And you just said that, so that extent only you go. Don't preach them on love, compassion and all, they will not listen to you. They don't listen to me either. But you can tell them, do good business, create value for the society, solve a problem, bring true solutions to the society, make money, pay your taxes, then it is all fine still. So to that extent only, yes. Yes.
Swami, I had quite a few questions. I'll try my luck asking you as many as I can. So question one is the perennial question around finding the right work-life balance. So for people like us, working professionals. So that was one. The second is, let's say you're on a spiritual journey now, but for a long part of your life, you're actually not following the right path. How do you overcome guilt? Because that is time lost in some sense. You have regret. You may have hurt people in that process, and now you have that realization. It might be late. So how do you overcome that scenario? And a third one is you may be on that path and journey, and maybe your sense of awareness of everything around you has improved over time, but the others are not there yet. And you can see that, the way you perceive things, but you can see others cannot perceive it the same way. So how do you manage all of that?
Yeah. He's a new sheep, so a lot of questions. But yeah, I'll answer one by one. First question was, how do you do this work-life balance thing, because that's a big buzzword in all people's lives right now. So the work-life balance, as I mentioned, is, why do you work is the question you have to ask. Like the Varuni asked the question to Brigu, what makes us do what we do in this life? Go find out for yourself. The first thing Brigu came back and told, food, we need to put the food on the table. That's why I work. Then he says, no, that's not the only way. I have to keep my bone and skin together. Prana, I must live, that's why I work. No, that's not. I have desires to fulfill, so I work. That's not work-life balance. No, I have something to offer to the world. There is intelligence, I can contribute, I can solve a problem. That's why I work. Good, but still that's not the reason. I work for the joy of working, that's the reason. Once you work for the joy of working, there's no question of work-life balance. You're always joyful whether you're working or resting. So there's nothing called work. Like for me, there's nothing called work and there's nothing called life balance. Every day is work or every day is life, whichever way balance you say. Because I'm working not for food, not for life's sake, but like for living sake, not for fulfilling desires and ideas, not for stimulating myself intellectually and being recognized for that. I'm working for the joy of it. And that is never is demanding. It becomes effortless. A musician can sing 24 hours and never tired. You and I will get tired in in an hour, and our listeners will get tired in a minute. But they are just going on singing. I've seen people, sports people, they wake up like 3 a.m. and they train. I can't imagine how they do that. But that is their joy. Likewise, you are a businessman, you are a teacher, you are anybody. When you're doing it for the joy of doing, that gives you a sense of joy, not money, not food, not recognition, not intelligence, intellectual stimulation, not rewards, and none of this, joy of it. Then there is nothing called work-life balance. So I always tell people, please find the right work for yourself. Maybe it will give you a little less money. Maybe it will not give you as much recognition. Maybe it's not going to help you grow the corporate ladder faster. But it gives you a lot of joy, and you don't ever feel the strain of working. So find the right work for yourself. It means sacrificing something. You can't have this, that, everything. Sacrifice a few things, downsize, and have more joy in your life. Quality of life will go up. Quantities will come down. But that's okay. So that is the call you have to take, right? That's first thing. The second thing that you asked was how do I take people along? Regrets of having done something wrong. Now you realize it. But the question is, who has not made a mistake in this world? Everyone. Small or big. If somebody in this room says we have never made a mistake, somehow we got it right from the day one, every single time, I would tell you are the biggest liar in the room. You're not true. Everybody has learnt. But what happens, I always tell, mistakes are to be seen as lessons. If you turn them into a lesson, the regret or the guilt will turn into a learning, and you will get better next time. You are better than that. Of course, in the process of last mistake, you did hurt people. You did. As long as it was not intentional, you can still forgive yourself. And self-forgiveness is very important. It's a quality. That's ego if you cannot forgive yourself. You may call it humility. You may call it being true to yourself. All that. That is all nonsense to me. The real reason why you can't forgive yourself is because you're egoistic. So please forgive yourself when you have not done it intentionally. And if you've done it intentionally, please learn a lesson from it. And then don't repeat it next time. Maybe you'll still make a mistake or two even after that. But every time you do that, your resolve to get over it gets stronger and stronger. And it is a process. Nobody started walking like these kids on the day one. They fell 100 times. And then they learned. So yes, these are some of the things. But every time you learn a lesson, it only improves you. So next time you can deal with things better. And self-forgiveness, self-love, self-care, these are all important for anybody. You have to learn to forgive yourself. Some people struggle with it, I know. They bash themselves up. They they just cannot come to terms with their past. But I call that also some kind of ego. And in the spiritual path, ego is not allowed. So you have to let go of that idea. But if you have learned a lesson or two, you can guide others. And that way you can use that for others. In Hindi, they say, "Jiske paav na phati bhivai, so kya jane peer parai." It means the one who has never had a crack in the food, what does he know about the pain of others? So you have to go through pain in life to appreciate the pain of others and to empathize with others. So it's okay. Tell yourself, it's okay, I've learned something out of it. But if you are a repeated offender, then you better correct yourself. Then the third one is, how do you take people along? You are already there, you understand, you see things differently, but people around you are not at the same level or the same page. How do you take? That's where compassion comes into picture. Patience and compassion with your people. Patience with yourself is confidence. Patience with others is compassion. And patience with God is devotion. Patience. Take everybody along. I also feel sometimes, why people cannot rise so far? Why cannot they just learn in one instruction and go there? Why do I have to repeat? But then I realize, that's where the compassion and patience and kindness comes into picture. And that day somebody was saying that, I just get so overworked and I get so overwhelmed by when people don't respond. I said, you think about how many times you have done to your mentors. You tested their patience to the hilt. Yet they didn't give up on you, so you are here today. You also have to pay it forward, show the same compassion and patience to others. You can't be so much in a rush to get there and ignore everybody. No, it's not right. We'll go there slow maybe a little, but we'll go there together. And that's a greater achievement than alone achieving great things. So let everybody come along. That again is a spiritual value, to show compassion and patience. Yeah, one question here. Somebody else has the mic. Okay, after you.
Sairam Sadhguruji. Your presence, is, of course, is very inspiring. I was more inspired by this young man. He's been waiting with a set of flowers.
Oh.
And I was more inspired by his love for you as well. So I would request if he can come and offer it to you now.
Oh, sure. Who's that?
Young man.
Come. You have a question too?
Yeah, one more question.
You can ask.
It's related to this modern culture and substance abuse, especially alcohol. I'm very close to one of those problems within extended family. What is the way?
Thank you.
Yeah. So it feels like overcoming it is like a losing battle. What are the means, or what can be done to overcome it? And number two, to avoid it as well.
Substance abuse you're talking about.
Yeah, alcohol and some other drugs, whatever. It's affecting a lot of young people.
Yes, yes. What should we do about it and how to overcome that?
Yeah, and how to get them out of it, because it's a losing battle over many years.
Yeah, true. Anything of that nature we get involved in because something in us is not happy. See, when you are full of joy, we're drinking from the cup of joy or the fountain of joy within, you don't need anything else to make you more joyful, right? You're already saturated. But when you are not happy inside, you need all these supports. You need alcohol, you need drugs, you need something else to just distract yourself from your own inner void or emptiness or even pain. These are all just to distract yourself from that. Even work sometimes can be, like workaholics are there. And they try to portray themselves as very hardworking people. But truly they're just trying to run away from themselves, distract themselves from it. So that also is some kind of abuse or substance abuse to me. Work also can become that way. So the core reason for it is something inside them is not complete, something is not happy, and that's why they're looking for happiness outside, in things of the world. And then slowly when they get these shortcuts, these quick pleasures, they get used to it, they get addicted. That's how it is. Because mind is, that dopamine, it keeps getting addicted to things that it gives them quick, instant joy. So ask question, why our children are not joyful? Why our youth are not happy? Why are they feeling empty and, the void inside? Why are they not feeling joyful and fulfilled? That's the reason, true reason. Because those who are happy and joyful, they don't need all these things. Maybe the parenting went wrong, maybe they didn't learn the right things at the school, maybe the society did not help them grow into good human beings, maybe there are a lot of other things that had to be set right. And because we did not do all these things, they fell into these ways now. So yes, temporarily what you can do, of course you can put them in rehabilitation, you can do all kinds of things, but that's not the permanent solution. The real solution is you help them have better childhood, you help them grow in healthier communities, you help them with the right kind of support system around them, from parenting to teaching to the community, where they all have somebody to talk to, somebody to pour out their heart, somebody to share their feelings, so they don't have to look for things outside. That's the real reason. That's why this value education and things like that. So once they find that joy inside their heart of doing things what they love to do, and a lot of it has to do with bad parenting, let me tell you. Because parents force children to do things that they don't want to do. When they are under the control of the parents, they're dependent on them, they keep doing whatever the parents are asking them to do because they need the food, they need the shelter. But after some time, when they're a little more independent, they walk away. They rebel. And then they get into all these things. This is their way of fighting the system back, showing their rebellious side to the parents and the teachers and the society, which did not understand them, which did not accept them the way they were. They were expected to be something else, which they were not. So it's like distracting yourself from this void, this hollowness, this emptiness that they feel inside. That is the real reason. If a musician loves music and the parents say, okay, you don't have to be a doctor, just because we are doctors, you can be a musician, he will never do substance abuse. But when he's forced to be a doctor, when he doesn't want to be a doctor, for the sake of satisfying the people or society around, one day or the other he'll become a person with this kind of habits. So the idea is that's why I say work should be joy that is being tangibilized. Whatever you're born to do, whatever your core, that is what you should be doing in this world. Money, fame, name, position, influence, power should not be the real reason why you work. Joy is the reason why you work. If it comes with it, good. Money comes with it, very good. Lot of money comes with it, even better. But some money comes, it's fine too. You don't have to get into these wrong ways. So my whole thing is that, of course, government can crack these. This is nothing. I'm coming from Mexico. You can imagine that border of US-Mexico. The amount of drug that crosses that border, the cartels that exist, the mafias, the dons. Who doesn't know it? I was in Fiji, they were telling me it's coming there. India, it is there. Everywhere, engineering colleges, medical schools. It's there everywhere. Why these kids are going there under high pressure? These medical college grads are like so pressurized, they can't just deal with the pressure. They're trying to find wrong ways of getting away from that pressure. I've seen a lot of engineering graduates who didn't want to do engineering. They wanted to be musicians or artists or maybe a social media influencer, but the parents said, shut up and just be an engineer, we paid your fee and you got to be one. They're angry. I have met people like that. They're angry with their parents, but they can't show their anger to the parents. They take it out in these ways. So I have seen that when children are not happy, they do all these things. When they're happy with themselves, with their families, with the society, they'll not get into wrong ways. And these, unfortunately, bad business people, those mafias and dons, they use these vulnerabilities of our youth to make money out of it. It's so cruel. And governments, whatever they do, they don't do enough to crack down these kind of systems. Because I know many of these people are hands in gloves. So that is why there is no solution I don't see that as a permanent solution. I see the permanent solution is allow every child to be himself or herself. Don't equate success with money or fame or popularity or your validation from your society around. No, it is the child's joy. And then they won't go through these mental issues and they won't get into abuse. Okay, just one last question here, this man.
Swami, it's an honor and privilege to be in your grace. And I had the privilege of seeing you for the first time last year at Mudanhali. And since then, I've followed your discourses and also tried to be part of the mission. The question I have for you is a different one from the ones that have been asked so far, which is about your life. And for you to share the lessons in your life where you have yourself realized your divinity and the divinity within others, and to share that experience and those lessons with all of us, so that as we go through our spiritual path and our journey, we could also see the divinity within us and within others. So if there's a lesson or two, or from an experience that when you were growing into the human being and the soul that you are, we would love to hear that lesson.
Okay. Well, people ask me this question, so what all did you experience on the way? Did you go to other dimensions? Did you meet angels? Did you meet other gods, other divine spiritual beings? Did you see auras? Could you predict the future? Could you look into the past? Could you, tell people about their fate and the future? I said, maybe all of this I could do, but none of this was equal to the divinity that people are asking for. These are some of the things that sometimes come on the way. These are like by and by on this process. Like in the initial years, I did have all these experiences. I did meet masters. I did see great other dimensions, what happens there, what kind of people live, where the soul goes after this journey, and so on and so forth. So these things naturally comes to you as you progress. But the progress really is purification of yourself, heart. And purification does not mean that you will stop feeling sad about things or you will not be sensitive. That's what I was trying to explain. You will still be a very sensitive human being. But nothing is for yourself. Everything is for others. That is the transition I've seen in myself. Earlier it was, what's in it for me? And yes, something for others too. From there, more for others, but something for me at least. To now, nothing for me. I don't need anything for myself. It's only about what I can do for others. So God lives like that. Divinity lives like that. So my real, as they say, the penny dropped when I changed from the person who was at least having some worry about himself or his things, to a person who had no more worry about himself. He only thought about what can be done for others and how can I be of use to others. So for me, divinity got defined then. All other things did happen. You meditate, you see dimensions. Even today it happens. Initially it was very exciting because you want to know what else lies behind or beyond what you see here, smell, taste or touch, and you see all these dimensions exist. There are souls. But I never discuss that with people, because then there is a very good chance they'll get lost in that. Because most of the other gurus and institutions, they harp around mysticism of spirituality. They harp around all these kinds of other dimensions and certain siddhis and powers, and you invoke those abilities, supernatural, whatever, extrasensory perceptions. But I don't want to talk about it. I don't even talk about miracles and healings and all these things. All these happens, that is a byproduct of you being divinized. But what is the true divine experience? Your heart fills with a lot of love for everyone. Your heart fills with compassion. And sometimes I have to be hard on people because they're not behaving. It's like the sheep and the lion story. The lion is telling the sheep is not listening, or the cub is not listening. Sometimes you have to roar a little louder to make the cub listen. But there is no intention of hurt in that, no intention of harming anyone. That's what I was saying, violence. Even our gods were violent, but they were not intending to harm. They were only trying to help. So that change happens in you. Your heart fills with love and compassion. And to me, that is divinity. Whether you experience the divine joy, you get into a transcendental state, all these are lower only. None of these are that. They are on the way. So if you experience these things, your mind is getting more powerful, it is getting clearer, it is getting maybe a little more purer. That's good, but that's not the end of the mind. End of the mind is the beginning of the heart. And beginning of the heart is love. Because heart doesn't know these dimensions and siddhis and power. They all exist in the realms of the mind only. In the plane of the heart, or the existence where the heart alone exists, there's only compassion and love. There are no siddhis, no powers, no extrasensory perceptions, no other dimensions, no gods and goddesses talking to you. They're all at the mind level only. At the heart level, only one thing exists, that is love, which expresses itself as compassion. So instead of I tell them, why take this long route? You want to go all these hatha yoga, this yoga, that yoga, and then get there too finally. And on the way, there is a good chance that you will get distracted and you'll sit down by the signpost. You'll never reach the destination. So I dissuade them. I don't encourage them. But it is a cheap sale. If you sell all these things, do this meditation, you'll get to know what's going to happen in 10 years. Everybody's excited about it. You wear linen, eat organic, sit in a meditative ashram, do a 10-day retreat yoga. All these are very, very saleable. But I don't want to go there at all. That is how I am. And people told me, you could do good business if you got into those things. I said, I don't want to get in those things because I'm under selling the idea of divinity. All this exists in the realms of mind only. Anything that has two in it, it is mind. So it is not divinity. Divinity is one. And that one is love, and that love has compassion. That's all is divinity finally. Everything else is at mind level. So that is what I teach, and I'm trying to explain to everybody, please. And this is a hard and long journey, by the way. You don't get there on the day one, because we are born with the idea of self-preservation. And if you find nothing is for you, and you're going to spend the whole day doing something where you gain nothing out of it, you feel traumatized initially. You feel scared. Letting go is not easy because we are habituated. That's why I told the story of sheep and the lion. For the lion cub, it was not easy to become a lion, though it was already a lion. It wanted to remain a sheep. It is difficult. So that's why you're letting go of the grass is very difficult. A lion would laugh at it, saying, what are you eating grass after all? But the cub is so convinced. That is how I live. If I stop eating grass, I will die. So very difficult to convince the mind from its old ways to change to the new ways. Not easy. So that part, you need guidance. You need a spiritual guru, guidance, faith, lot of faith, and to overcome all those hesitations. I am very fortunate, I would say, because I had the best of the gurus, the best of the mentors. So it was easy for me, because maybe I was not as good a disciple, but I was having a damn good a guru, and that took care of most of my problems. But still I struggled. I'm not going to tell you all this. No, see, when you make money in the stock market, you're there in the news everywhere. When you lose money, nobody talks about it. So there were bad times too, difficult times too, when I thought I should give it up. This is not for me. Why am I even here? What am I even doing? I don't want to do this. Where have I gotten into? What I have gotten into? All these questions arise when your self becomes too much with you. Those are the times either my master guided me out of it or just left me. Like sometimes parents just leave the kids saying that you cry, roll, throw tantrums, you will figure it out yourself. So sometimes he just left me and I thought he just abandoned me. But it was not abandonment. Those were the times when like a parent who is like, no, this child is simply being difficult. Leave it, let him cry. After some time, he'll come to terms with things. So sometimes he just left me in the middle of nowhere for me to realize and learn my lessons. Sometimes he was there to guide. So Guru is very important. See, without Guru, you cannot achieve. This is a very, very simple and straight truth. You want to realize divinity, you want to divinize yourself, without a Guru, it's very, very hard. Even with Guru, it is hard, but without Guru, it's harder. That's why so much importance is given to a spiritual guide and Guru, a master. If you find one, you are very lucky. But you don't have to physically be there. See, for me, Bhagavan was not physically there. He found a way to reach out to me because I was keen or he was keen. Similarly, I will find a way to reach out to you wherever you are. You don't have to be physically there in my presence, or I don't have to be sitting in your room to teach you. You can still find guidance. And people around the world tell me, you're guiding me. I say that not physically. It's at a spiritual dimension that happens. Things happen. So yes, if you are sincere, you're a seeker, you are clear that this is your purpose, Guru will find a way to you. And Guru happens to everybody at the right time. And you have to wait for that time in all eagerness. And it's not going to be easy, so straight away I'm saying, don't you dream that it's going to be a very happy, hunky-dory kind of a life. No. It tests your convictions, it shakes your faith, it asks everything and more from you. But only when you let go of that grass and the company of the sheep and the comfort of being a sheep, that's when you turn into a lion. And that process is slightly difficult. Of course, once you become a lion, you laugh at all your old ways. You'll think, what a pity, what a shame, I was like that. And I was so particular about it. You feel laughing. But yes, while you're in it, it's not easy. So it is a tough task. But I have gone past all those stages. It's over for me. Do you see gods and goddesses? Yes, I see. I talk to them. I do all kinds of things. But none of this is divinity. This is all lesser than divinity. True divinity is love and compassion. That's why when I walk into the room, it's that energy of love that is what touches people. I'm not bringing something special. It is that divine love that is coming into the room and you suddenly feel energized because you connect like magnet and a piece of iron. It gets magnetized. That's all is happening here. Nothing more than that. So there's no science or no trick behind it. It is simply love expressing, spreading itself. And you connect to that love because at the core of your being, it is that love, it is that divinity. That's all is my journey, okay? Thank you. I think that's a long... I tell you, all my focus, all my concentration, all my efforts to remain steady in my mind, today it came to good use with all these kids running around and all my meditations were tested today. But I think I've done well. Yeah. A last thing, these youths, I want to invite you all in November, not in July. July I'm too busy. I won't be able to spend any time because of the other events, which are formal events, being the 50th year of Satya Sai Grama. A lot of things have been lined up. Guru Purnima, this, that. But in November, we have kept it simple this year. Not like last year, which was very busy. But I would have a youth meet in November. Okay, and I would like to spend a week with all of you without any other agenda, no other meetings, no other programs, no other events. So please find time to be there in November. Of course, 23rd is the birthday function, which will be a simple and small one this time, not like the last year. And 30th is the birth anniversary, 100th year of Madhyal Narayan Bhatt, who was one of those early disciples who started this thing in Mudenhalli and Karnataka. So we are going to use that 1 week to just be with ourselves. We can eat together, we can talk, we can spend some time. And this invitation is exclusively for the youth. Yeah, because you had enough of Ashtavakra Gita, you practice that now. All this, please make time, and all of you should be there. Okay, take a week off. Please be there. Come before 22nd. Let's say 22nd also is okay, and stay until end of November. You can leave probably in December. November 30th is the function. December 1st, you'll take time to return to your original, means to Mudanalli, and 2nd you can fly out. So please keep that time. All the youth, and no excuses. I have kept a count, and I'll take a list from Girish. And please bring other friends also. They need not be Sai devotees. There should be good human beings wanting to learn, like we had a few in the room today. Just invite everybody. So save your holidays, save your leaves, and book your tickets early. The prices are going up. I don't know when this crisis is going to end, but if you book it early, probably it will help you. So 22nd November to 2nd December, right? Please find time to come, and I definitely spend a lot of time. I'm really missing spending time with people like youth. I'm always busy with the what you call the celebrity kinds, you see. So I feel bad. I feel like I should spend time. Even our students are complaining now. You hardly have any time for us. But I cannot explain to them that whatever I'm doing is also for them in some way. But I'll go back, and please come in November and stay until December 1st, and then December 2nd you can fly out. All right.
Swami, our collective thanks for giving so much of yourself. Swami has been speaking for such a long time, non-stop, and the enthusiasm, the love, the compassion he's shown to answer all questions, despite the less than youth here as well, the patience that he's shown, it comes only from love. And Swami, we collectively are so grateful and thankful that you've come to the UK. Please keep coming, and we hope that we remain worthy of your coming to see us. Thank you so much. Sai Ram.
Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Satya Sai Hare Bhakta Jana Samrakshak Bhakta Jana Samrakshak Parti Maheshwara Om Jai Jagadish Hare Shashivadana Shikara Sarva Pranapate Swami Sarva Pranapate Ashrita Kalpalatika Ashrita Kalpalatika Apar Pandava Om Jai Jagadish Hare Mata Pita Guru Devamu Mariyantayunive Swami Mariyantayunive Nada Brahma Jagannatha Nada Brahma Jagannatha Nagendra Shayana Om Jai Jagadish Hare Omkara Rupa Ojasviyo Sai Mahadeva Satya Sai Mahadeva Mangala Arati Anduko Mangala Arati Anduko Mandara Giridhari Om नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की